Well, I think the people are, although the people that are working on that corner stretch might be because they're so close to the other new houses, but I mean, that happens in this. Yeah.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
You good to go?
We're good?
Yeah.
All right, guys, you guys ready? We're going to get this, get the work session started. Okay, we're going to call the work session for August 1st, 2020 to order. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Mr. Thomas, this is your show.
It's about time. First item this evening is the Patriot Estates Housing Development. This is their sewage planning module. As a new development, they would be required to get to demonstrate that the municipal authority can handle the sewage flows from 158 new units, because sewage ultimately is the responsibility of the municipality, even when there is an authority that exists. It's our sewage facilities plan, or Act 537 plan, that has to be amended to add these additional units. And that process has to be commenced with the municipality. So there's a resolution that you have to adopt, and then there's a number of different steps beyond that point, at which point the municipal authority will do the determination to certify that they can handle the additional sewage flows. So at this time, it's just a resolution to start that process.
Any discussion? Okay, agenda item.
Second item, so the first three items in the agenda this evening are on this Patriot Estates PRD, and again, that is the plan we just talked about. The second item there is a simple subdivision related to their access on Davidson Road. They've purchased a piece of property, looks like a slice of pizza if you look on the drawing, at the far corner of the Temple Sinai property. If you look on your maps, you can't see it on that one. You have to look on the maps on the,
Okay.
in the,
This one.
yes. So there's a subdivision there. If you look in that right-hand side, right there by your finger, Dan, that's the piece that they purchased from Temple Sinai, that little corner piece there, that triangle piece. They purchased that so that they can have better access to Davison Road for their primary access to this plan. So they purchased the property, but now that property has to be subdivided. That's the simple subdivision, and that is step 1 of 2 tonight. So the simple subdivision for that would be subdividing it from the Temple Sinai property. And at this time, because this is just a simple subdivision, we're just asking or suggesting that you accept the plan as complete.
Discussion.
Yeah, I have a question. Dave, maybe you can answer this. The one gentleman said that they own a big tract of land that goes all the way to Salzburg Road. Do you know anything about that? Why aren't they
Yes.
utilizing that when they're trying to do this? Is there a reason, or is it just?
You can't make it work.
I can't speak for the developer and what their plans are. If you remember 3, 4, 5 years ago, Miranda Homes had proposed a subdivision there where they were going to come out right around S&T Bank. At the time, it was going to be a right in, right out only onto Salzburg because they couldn't create the left-hand turning lane. There probably was not enough right-of-way to create that. I don't know why the developer hasn't proposed that. I do know that, after, when Miranda was in there, Miranda came in and then they lost a lot of the lots because of wetlands, and they lost a lot of the land because this Duquesne Light, Penn Hills to Plum project was coming through, and they lost a lot of lots there. So I don't know what the final straw was for Miranda coming out, but certainly that was a challenge back then too.
It was a combination of all those factors,
Yeah.
and that's why they abandoned the access to. It was going to be very difficult to do it in the first place. They were going to have to acquire some additional right of way, but it was the factors that Dave just mentioned that sort of caused them to abandon that access to Salzburg.
But was it doable? Was it achievable?
Not anymore. Not now that it's all. Well, here's technically you could mitigate the wetlands.
Well, PennDOT no longer allows a right in, right out only.
Yeah, so it's.
There'd be a lot of.
It'll be a full-grown traffic intersection with
turning lanes that we'd have to, that the municipality would have to accept and maintain and repair and manage, and again, it's still up to PennDOT to permit that, not the borough.
Right.
But PennDOT's okay with everything they want to do here on Davidson Road coming out to Salzburg?
Davidson's ours.
Right, but they're okay with what's coming out to Salzburg?
Well,
I mean, they're
there's
not
nothing
like,
coming out of Salzburg right now.
well, I know, but when they do this track and they make this plan, it's gonna come out on Davidson Road, and
And then
Davidson
on to
Road comes out to
Salzburg.
Salzburg. So can PennDOT come back to us now and say, since you did this, now with that increased traffic, you need to do a turning lane or do something?
Well, that would be part of their traffic study, the developer's traffic
So
study.
they have that done already?
I don't know if they've done their traffic
They
study.
do, and our traffic engineer was here tonight. I didn't think, I let him go. I didn't think this question would come up. You know, the Salzburg Road at Davidson is considered an off-site, intersection that really, under this study, is not affected by the housing plan. So we ran into the same thing with Miranda. There were questions about the degradation of traffic at that intersection.
Okay.
Any more discussion? Okay, agenda item.
So item number 3 is actually the second step in the process of the Temple Sinai simple subdivision, and that is the consolidation. So step number 1 is cutting off that triangular piece from the Temple property. Step number 2 is putting it onto the Parkside, or the Patriot Estates property. So the first part is the subdivision, the second part is the lot consolidation. They are both simple subdivisions, and at this time, both are just recommended for acceptance as complete, not approval for August.
Discussion? Agenda item.
Item number 4 and 5 are related to the proposed Havana Apartments that was also on the agenda this evening. When we originally had talked about these items last week when we were preparing the agenda, we were hoping that we would have more of the information to be able to at least have council consider the conditional use approval or the adaptive reuse approval and the land development application. But Dave and I both believe that they haven't submitted, the developer, the engineer for the developer, who by the way used to be ours. Like Justin, he was our engineer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They haven't given us enough of the information to make it
Yeah,
to
they did submit some items today.
today.
which-
Well, today.
Yeah,
but-
and all along, we have really wondered why it took so long for them to submit this. There was a whole month where there was no action on their part. So they did submit it today, but, we need to have KU review it. We need to have a response from the developer. So, it would be rushing it, I think,
And
to.
in keeping with council's policy that they did not have it to us by Wednesday, by last Wednesday, so.
Too bad.
So we kept it on the agenda because of the fact that it was part of the conditional use hearing tonight, so that if council had any questions about it, but otherwise neither 4 nor 5 need to be on the agenda next week.
Dave, do we have any time limitations here?
No, we've been tracking time limitations on these projects. So for this PRD, or no, for Havana, no, this is the first time, they were at Planning Commission at day 30.
Okay, you answered it, you said there's none.
Yeah, we discussed that today, that we're not up against the time, the 90 days, so we're good.
Any more discussion?
Those are not agenda items. Item number 6 is the Linda Edgar lot line revision. This is also a simple subdivision. Woman, property owner up on Pine Street in Renton. Her driveway is actually not on her property. It's actually on the Renton Mine property. That 130-acre property there. Everybody knows which property I'm talking about, I assume. So she is, they were nice enough to sell her about a half an acre to consolidate with her property. So this is kind of the same thing we just talked about. It's a simple subdivision to add about a half an acre to her property so that her driveway is on her property. Only asking to accept the application is complete at this time.
Agenda item.
Okay. Item number 7 is a cost of living adjustment for a police officer. All the information is in your packet.
Agenda item.
Item number 8 is the promotion of 2, I apologize, I got a typo there. It's DPW, not PWD or PDW. Operators or employees from Class 2 to Class 1. For some reason, we go from 2 to 1, not 1 to 2. So Class 2 operators are drivers slash laborers. They are not the heavy equipment operators. Class 1 is heavy equipment and/or mechanic. We had 2 Class 1 operators, two heavy equipment operators retire in the last couple months. So we had 2 openings to move 2 people up. And those spaces are important because they are the people that get caught on an overtime when an operator is needed. And also because when we go to shifts, we split all the operators up 2 and 2. So we needed to have those positions filled so we knew who could bid on what shifts during winter shifts. After a very extensive, and I would like to add, I think Bill Burchick did a fantastic job with testing these guys. The actual test that he put together to test them was pretty impressive. And I think he did the bargaining unit did not challenge the testing process at all. So at the end of that, so in your packets are the recommendations or the test results for Mark Klingensmith and Richard Harris, who we've determined to be the best qualified operators to get that promotion. The promotions would be made by council, obviously.
Any discussion? Agenda item.
Item number 9 is an executive session item to discuss staff salary. Item number 10 is the 2023 DUI Task Force Grant. We do this every year. You know that the Plum Boro Police Department is the administrator of the East Hills DUI Task Force. We authorize this application every year. It's a resolution.
Agenda item.
Item number 11 is kind of an odd one. Because of our involvement with the DUI Task Force and because of our relationship with the medical professionals, when we do the task force, the checkpoints, we do never, well, maybe they did at some point, but we don't carry around breathalyzer equipment. We use medical professionals to do blood and/or urine testing to test for impaired driving. They're sent somewhere. So we haven't used our breathalyzer unit in a number of years. It just through fortune, it came out that someone was interested in looking for one. We found one. It's Beaver Falls Police Department is looking for one. The chief reached out to them, and they looked at the used value of one based on the unit that it is. The value right now is about $5,814, and Beaver Valley is willing to pay for it. I'm sorry, Beaver Falls is willing to pay for it.
Great. Any discussion? We'll make that an agenda item.
Item number 12 is the purchase of 2 new trailers. First trailer is a new trailer for the DUI task force. It is a $12,700 trailer. That fee is part of the grant covered by PennDOT. So while we would be making the purchase, PennDOT would reimburse us for the expense. The purchase is off of the PA CoStar's contract with, I believe it's with Smouse. I believe that's who it's with. I think so. The second one is, so this would be 2 items. The second one is the existing DUI trailer that we have. The chief, in talking with them about this new trailer, mentioned that we had the old trailer. He said he'd be interested in buying it. He offered $2,000 for that trailer. That trailer is about 11 years old, I believe. And in exchange, we would like to buy a flat hauler for the police community vehicle. That's the golf cart that's outfitted with police lights and everything. So the difference in price between the two with the trade-in is about $1,784. So be 2 trailer purchases, one that would be fully reimbursed and one that would be an expense of $1,784.
Discussion.
What is the golf cart used for?
So we take it to community events. We use it at all of our community events, Summerfest, Fall Fest, all those events. But we also take it to other regional events to represent Plum. Okay. We've used it for other different events events as well. Like we took it down to where we're scheduled to, the marathon, for example.
And who hauls it now?
So Public Works that has to haul it now. That's kind of the problem, is because the police department doesn't have a trailer. So they have trailers because that's how they move the DUI trailer. That's how they move the speed trailers and everything. So they're equipped to use to transport trailers, but none of them can get on which the golf cart can go. So that's what we would do now, and that's what the traffic division moves everything around. They do that.
Any more discussion? Okay, agenda item.
Item number 13 is the police body and in-car camera system. We have talked about this for a number of months now. You all are aware of the ongoing potential litigation regarding the existing system and the problems that we've had with it. We talked about this last month. Council suggested that we move forward this month with a new system. We do have a proposal. It's in your agenda packets. The total cost for for a 5-year period is $244,000, or about $48,000, $49,000 annually. I would like to point out, though, that the chief was able to knock $15,000 off. I don't know if you noticed that in the agenda packet.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. How did we get a reduction of that?
He harassed them.
So you're saying our police chief,
Was a really good negotiator. Really good.
Yeah, he did.
About
well, to
15
give him
grand
a
good.
pat on the back.
Big one.
Don't pat him on his back. He's been spending way too much money at the new building, so he's still in the red.
So he's making up for it. Okay.
Yeah, he's still in the red.
Okay, so make that agenda item.
I have one question. Now, this
Sure,
is going to
Dave.
bring our force up to date with a usable, durable system, correct?
Yes, and not only that, there's significant time and cost savings in this system because most systems, so this is a cloud-based system that will allow the officers themselves to be able to have access to download film, record film, forward film to the district attorney's office, for example, for different cases. And it will also be a lot more, so in our current system now, because it's on-site storage, we purge it after 90 days. So if somebody didn't think to download film, it's gone after 90 days. We won't have that problem.
Is that, excuse me, but is that standard 90 days and then purge, or is that our own, why are we doing it at
Not
90?
enough memory.
Yeah, it's just lack of storage, lack of
storage
ability.
space.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to answer questions that I might get, so that's why I'm asking.
Well, I think the big things, first of all, the big takeaway on this is that cloud storage system, that it makes it infinitely more useful and efficient for us. Right now, for example, we still do have a system that's operating, it's just operating poorly. So anytime any video needs to be burned, we have to burn it to another medium, to a CD or a flash drive or something, which means it takes, IT time to pull that file down, burn it. Then the officer has a CD or flash drive that they have to get down to the district attorney's office. But now it's just all emailed, it's all electronic, it's all done via the cloud. The other benefit is that with this system, instead of buying these cameras, we all know how technology changes over time and becomes obsolete fairly quickly. These cameras are on a 3-year, the body cameras, I believe, are on a 3-year refresh rate. And the in-car cameras, I believe, are on a 7-year refresh rate. So as long as we're a part of the system, it's just new cameras as they refresh.
Okay,
Is
one
that
more question.
Added expense? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
That's all
No,
right.
that's part of what we're paying for.
That's why we're paying so
refresh
much.
is- Okay.
That's
Yes.
why it's included. That's, I think, why we're paying as much as we are, is because of that refresh
Yes.
rate.
But who has, and my last question, I hope, is who has the...
We hope to.
Who has the right to delete these videos?
You mean in the police department?
Yeah, in the
Ultimately,
whole borough building, who can get rid of them? I don't want to have down the road, we forgot there's too many people who could get rid of these, and somebody will want something.
So are you talking about the existing system or the new one?
No, the new system.
The new system is cloud-based, it's perpetual.
It stays on there.
It doesn't get deleted.
Okay.
One
Thank you.
question, Mike, is there still a possibility that we can regain some of the?
We are still pursuing getting our money back for the previous system from the other company.
How much was it?
About 60,000.
I hear too many things about, we got rid of
That's why it
Not
doesn't
too
work,
bad.
it was way too cheap.
Yeah.
Get what you
And
pay
then
for.
the installation costs, Motorola does not do the installation. So we're looking at about 10 grand for that. Is it someone that Motorola recommends to do it, or do they have someone in the contract that's gonna do it? So they take responsibility if something gets broken or cracked or?
We have a company that we deal with the outfitting of all of our police vehicles.
So they
And
would-
we feel comfortable with them because
Okay.
they do everything, radios, cameras, lights, everything.
So they gave us the price of the 10 grand?
That's their estimate, that they think that's what it should cost. It could come in lower than that.
Okay.
Okay, agenda item.
Item number 14 is an executive session item to discuss borough fire services.
Oh, yes.
Looking forward for that one.
Item number 15 is a proposal for a kickball event, fundraiser event by Ms. McCune. There's a copy of her letter in your agenda packets. I believe you had mentioned, so you're not sure exactly which field, what field, how many fields?
We're only gonna need one field.
Oh, one field?
Yeah.
Okay.
I cut it off at probably like 8 teams. But I was originally gonna do it right behind the pizza shop, thinking mostly kids were gonna sign up, but it's mostly very adult men. So I want them
Shocker.
on, like asphalt and some kid getting smacked by a ball. I did get the liability insurance that I need for that day. I think it's $1 million policy, just for like extra up on top of what I already have. I can't even remember what's in the letter, but I do have a face painter coming, I have an ice cream truck coming, and a DJ coming so far. I don't really know what is allowed on the fields, what is not allowed.
So my staff and I can work with you on getting that all set up and making sure you got everything taken care of once you get permission to use the field. And if between now and next Monday, you can kind of work with me and we can figure out what field will work best for you.
Renton
So that way,
would be
Renton?
Would be perfect,
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
Well,
Yeah,
that's,
so I'm like kind of pressed for time now between now and the 21st, so.
okay.
What is the fundraiser?
It's for, I only live Pizzeria, and it's for Angels in Disguise, the nonprofit, so I just.
does a lot of good work in the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
decided to pick them since they do so much outreach work to,
already
they're
reached
gonna
out
get
every
the whole
day.
proceeds from it, so.
You mentioned a term, I'm curious. If I fall into the category, very adult men. Is that based on age?
I'm 30 years old, I've but it's like all men like 30 and up. And they're like,
Okay.
yeah, we're signing up, and
She
they're
might
like,
have-
"It's
So,
for your kids."
everybody up here is very adult, so just on.
Oh, I've known that
I was
for
gonna
the
say,
past
I would
30 years.
I would argue that not everybody's adult.
My family
all the
considers
time,
me
but-
an overgrown 5-year-old.
Yeah, no, thank you, I'm
I should
kidding.
make a team, I'm good.
Mike, I just want to mention, I just heard for the first time Renton Field, we have that, leased every day through Labor Day for softball
On
teams.
Sundays?
Not sure on Sundays, I didn't hear the Sunday.
This is a Sunday, right?
We do rent
August
weekends, we'll
21st.
check our schedule. and-
Yeah, well, that's what I said, we'll have to work out the field with you, but we can do that.
Sunday is fun day.
Yeah, Sunday fun day.
She needs to advertise. I commend you for doing this for the.
Yeah.
Yes, very
But,
much so.
I mean, if we
And
can
making
look
really
real
awesome
quick to
pizza.
see if
Love
Renton's is
pizza.
in use that day.
Yeah.
So she can start getting her advertising done. I know it's not a done deal till next Monday, but I mean, I'm pretty confident that everybody up here sort of supports you in this, so I don't think there's gonna be an issue with the vote.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
that-
People keep asking me where everything.
So,
No, we
yeah,
just need to work on the
if you
details.
contact him and work with him,
Okay.
then that'll sort of be, he'll be able to know what field is being in use.
We'll find out, we'll
Yep.
find out tomorrow. if
And also, we
Renton's
can
using
announce it at the next meeting, so it's on TV and people will be able to, oh, there's an event, it's extra advertising, why not?
Okay, agenda item.
Good
Item-
stuff.
Item number 16 is the Renton Park Phase 3 engineering services, interestingly. So there's 3 phases to this park. The first 2 phases, the first phase is completed, the second phase is actually underway as we speak. Phase 3 is new basketball standards, paving the basketball court, new fencing, additional paved parking area, and 3 pickleball courts, and a bathroom over at the Renton ball field side. It'll be on the other side of the street from the park area. To date, we've spent about $350,000 in the first 2 phases. About 150 of that was grant funds that we've received. This last phase is going to be about $250,000, and the engineering estimate for that phase, that's the proposal that you have in front of you, is $25,375. So if we're going to move forward with Phase 3, I need you to authorize that proposal for HRG to put together the permits, the plans, the specs, the construction drawings, and everything.
How many pickleball courts?
3.
3.
3?
3.
Can they get 6?
Pickleball.
Can they look at their 6? Is it possible to do 6?
The grading won't fit anymore.
There, I did that.
Well, we can still,
Okay.
down here too.
Well, actually,
Let's get
Dave
these
actually
going.
came up with a good idea today, which I hadn't really thought about. I have no idea. At Larry Mills, volleyball court there. I have no idea what kind of use it gets, other than little kids playing with their Tonka trucks in it, because it's a sand. I don't see anybody ever playing there,
Ooh, that could be a good
but
idea.
that's a great location
Great
to
idea.
put a couple pickleball. Could probably easily get two there.
Where is that?
Larry
Where the volleyball
It's a sand
court is
volleyball
now.
court.
Yeah,
It was very hot at the time when we put it
That's
in.
right.
Yeah, it
yeah.
was.
Not anymore.
Fizzled out, just like pickleball's gonna do. You have to just do what you can do at the time and
Yeah.
don't worry about that much in the.
But yeah, we could,
Yeah, and then
we
change it
were,
when
because of the
necessary.
grading there, at
Because I don't.
At,
Renton.
Renton, thank you.
We did when they
They could
got
only
it.
fit 3.
Okay.
Okay.
So we just need more elsewhere, but
Listen,
three's a start.
We only need one court for me to beat
Okay,
you.
so make this agenda item.
Item number 17 is the, so at the most recent Finance Committee meeting, which was when the auditors presented the audit to the Finance Committee, there was a discussion about auditing services for, now I can't remember which started it, but it was either the PCC, and then I brought up the library and vice versa, but the community center and the library have asked for assistance from the borough in their annual audit expenses. The easiest way to accomplish that, obviously, is to see if we can get them to add, we can get our auditor, currently Mayor Dussel, to add the audit of those two entities onto our audit. So the marginal cost won't be much. We assume it'll be a few $1,000s.
Good idea.
Before I do that, though, I wanted to make sure, this doesn't necessarily need to be a council action item for next week. It doesn't need to be voted on at this time. I just need to know if that's something you're willing to consider and if you would like me to go and get pricing from our auditor.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, if you can get some numbers, I mean, we understand it's gonna be a
Doesn't hurt
little
to look.
flexible the first time.
Okay. Item number 18 is the 2022-23 Shaycog Road Salt Purchase Agreement. The proposal for this year, for this upcoming winter, for road salt is in there. The price this year is $88.96 per ton. Still one of the best prices around most of the time when we shop this around. We've participated in the Shaycog bid at least as long as I've been here, almost 20 years now. We typically Shaycog typically does get very good pricing. So Shaycog is the South Hills Area Council of Government. We belong to the Turtle Creek Council of Government. But what happens in this case is all the local councils of governments join together and bid out all the commodities. So you have hundreds of municipalities bidding this out together, which is why we're able to get such great bid prices on it. Staff does recommend the Shaycog bid this year for this upcoming winter season at that rate of $88.96. And I did put in the manager's report, if you got a chance to note that what we did, anticipating a big price increase, we filled up the shed before the end of this year. So we actually have the shed filled front to back right now with salt, so we couldn't even buy any anyway.
So does this need to be agenda item then?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
because you have to approve the
Did we run
agreement.
through our complete salt amount this past season?
Yeah, we did. We used quite a bit. I don't know that I'd say the whole amount, but we did use quite a bit.
I was just curious.
Okay, agenda item.
Item number 19 is the Allegheny County Winter Maintenance Agreement. We do this with PennDOT on a number of the PennDOT roads in Plum as well. Allegheny County, the only county road that we maintain is Renton Road from New Texas Road to Renton Avenue. We have maintained it for many years, and we recommend renewing the agreement with the county because we're up and down that road all the time anyway.
Discussion? Agenda item.
Item number 19 is yet again an amendment to the 2022 asset disposal list. We've done this like 4 times
This is
now.
item 20, you said 19. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
So there's 2 more items that we are proposing to get rid of. One is actually that 1997 DUI trailer that we talked about, the agenda item earlier, and then a 2001 zero-turn mower. We did buy a new zero-turn mower this year. We also bought something called a Ventrex mower this year. We did not plan to get rid of the 2001 zero-turn. I'm sorry, that's a 2011, right, Dave?
Yes.
Sorry, it's a typo.
Yes.
2011, but we did have some major breakage with the equipment this year, and if you don't know, it's really difficult to get parts to repair anything right now. So we just thought that the best thing to do right now, we think we might be able to get about 5,000 for it. We thought the best thing to do right now would just be would be to sell it, right? Because we can't use it anyway, can't really get the parts to repair it right now.
Well, you get $5,000 for it.
Yeah.
So,
Get rid of it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, Jenna.
That is all of the public items for this evening.
Okay, that brings us to the end of the agenda. You will get with him tomorrow, and we
Yeah,
will
how do I go?
smoke signals. No, I'm kidding.
Smoke signals.
You can.
I'll give you,
yours
I'll
now.
give you my note, yeah.
Yeah, great. Okay, we are adjourned to executive, no, we're not adjourned.
Yeah, no.
We're
Recess.
recessing for executive session.
That was easy enough.
told you it would be.
Yeah.
Well, what's the one I originally tried to do?
Well, because we tell the staff doesn't have the authority to do that. We can't just lease it, rent it to anyone.
No, I get that now, but they didn't even show me
Well,
that direction.
we had she just started.
Oh, on Parkside.
So that's the number to call. That's my number.
remember, yeah.
It actually rings this phone.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's a 795-6800,
Up in that
extension
phase
4201.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay?
You may just wait till like tomorrow afternoon then?
Yeah, first time I heard tonight about any.
Whatever works for you.